Welcome to the very first episode of How Did We Get Here? I'm standing here watching someone jump out of a plane at 10,000 feet and float down like it's the most normal thing in the world. But have you ever stopped and asked, how the heck did we even figure this out? Today we're tracing the parachute, from its wildest ancient roots all the way to the high-tech gear that saves lives and creates adrenaline junkies every single day. Stick with me, because this story starts with legends, involves a guy who sketched it on paper and never tested it, and ends with something we literally trust our lives to. Let's dive in. It all begins thousands of years ago in ancient China. Legends from around 2200 BC tell of a young man who later became Emperor Shun. He was trapped on top of a burning granary by his own family. Flames closing in, he grabbed two large conical bamboo hats, held them tight, and jumped. The hats caught the air and slowed his fall enough for a safe landing. Whether it's fully true or not, it shows people back then already got the basic principle. Spread out something big, and air resistance can fight gravity. Centuries later, Chinese acrobats turned it into performance art. In the 1100s and beyond, they jumped from tall towers or cliffs using rigid, umbrella-like parasols, entertaining emperors and crowds with controlled descents. It was early base jumping, basically. Fast forward to Renaissance Italy in the late 1400s. Around 1470, someone sketched a cone-shaped escape device for burning buildings. Then, about 1485, Leonardo da Vinci drew his famous pyramid parachute in his notebook, a linen canopy over a wooden frame, roughly 23 feet across. He wrote that a man could drop from any great height without injury. Leonardo never built or tested it, but in the year 2000, a modern skydiver recreated it, and it worked perfectly. Wild, right? The genius who dreamed up flying machines also invented the modern parachute on paper. The real breakthroughs hit in 18th century France. In 1783, physicist Louis-Sébastien Lenormand jumped from a tower, or in some accounts, a tree, using a framed canopy. He landed safely in front of witnesses, proving the concept in public. A couple years later, in 1785, he coined the word parachute, from para meaning against, and shoot meaning fall. Against the fall. Clean and perfect. Balloon mania took over next. People attached parachutes to hot air and hydrogen balloons for escapes and stunts. Animals, like dogs, got dropped first as tests. Then, in 1797, André Jacques Ganarin made history. He climbed into a hydrogen balloon over Paris, rose to over 3,000 feet, cut loose, and fell with the first frameless silk parachute. It spun wildly at first, so he added a vent at the top for stability. Huge crowds watched in awe. His wife, Jeanne Geneviève, soon became the first woman to skydive the same way. By the early 1900s, airplanes changed everything. Pilots were crashing with no escape. In 1911, Russian engineer Gleb Kotelnikov, shaken after seeing a friend die in a plane wreck, invented the backpack parachute. Silk, neatly folded into a knapsack on your back, with a ripcord to deploy it yourself. He tested it behind a speeding car first. In 1912, the first jump from an actual airplane happened. World wars turned parachutes essential. Silk gave way to tougher nylon. Troops dropped behind lines. Cargo got delivered. Agents sneaked in. Then, in the 1960s, Domina Jalbert invented the Ram Air Parafoil, a wing-shaped inflatable canopy you can steer and glide like a plane. That's the square, colorful one skydivers use today for precision and tricks. Now, military versions use GPS to drop heavy loads right on target. Sport jumpers do formations and swoops. Even Mars rovers slow down with supersonic parachutes in thin alien air. From bamboo hats in ancient China catching wind, through Da Vinci's sketches, daring balloon jumps, backpack breakthroughs, and steerable wings, that's how we got here. Next time you see a skydiver floating down, remember, it started with someone wondering if air could catch them. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and drop in the comments what everyday object you want next. Maybe the microwave, the zipper, or the toothbrush.